Now, this summer marks the 50th anniversary of the Munich Olympic massacre when 11 Israeli athletes were murdered by Palestinian terrorists at the 1972 Summer Games. Now, yesterday, Bavaria's state governor oversaw a wreath-laying ceremony at a memorial site in Munich's Olympic Park, not far from those dorms where the terrorists attacked and took hostages in the early morning of September 5th. Now, the same day, Germany's government said it was finally willing to pay further compensation to the families of the slain athletes, who charged that German authorities at the time totally mishandled the situation. But some family members of the athletes have said that the amount being offered by the German government was, quote, an insult. Well, joining us now for more is Ankie Spitzer, widow of the slain Olympic coach Andre Spitzer. She speaks to us from Ramat Hasharon. Ankie, thanks for joining us. First of all, just let me ask you, it's the 50th anniversary. I guess in September we'll see more attention paid. But do you think 50 years on, enough attention is still being paid to what happened on that terrible day back there in Munich?
Yes, I do think that there is a lot of attention. Also, the international press, and also Germany is organizing two big memorial ceremonies, and also Israel, of course, is having a state memorial ceremony. So there is a lot of attention, and you just showed the pictures of the ceremony yesterday. I was invited to that ceremony, but I declined to go to Israel, to Germany, after we received a ridiculous offer from the German government. Not only ridiculous, it was a shameful offer. And it is not a few family members. All the family members of the 11 slain athletes think the same way as I do.
Well, let's talk about how that process has played out, because there was some, I think there was some compensation that amounted to some $2 million that were offered several years ago. Who's been conducting or has been dialoguing with the German government over the issue of compensation?
We have, and the families have, together with international lawyers from Holland, who helped us out. But we have been talking about this for a long, long time. You see, first of all, the Germans, they did not, in 1972, they did not prevent the attack. And although they got prior information 2 weeks before the massacre that something is going to happen during the Olympic Games, they got a telegram from their German ambassador in Beirut saying this. So they did not prevent, they did not protect our Israeli athletes. You know, they did not accept the help that Israel was trying to give them in this situation. And of course, they totally blundered at the totally botched rescue operation. They had no plan at all. And then after all this, you know, we had to go through 50 years of abuse from the German authorities. They did not give us all the documents or the pictures or whatever we asked, the ballistic reports, the investigation reports, although they are legally, they have to give that to me. I am allowed to know what happened to my husband and what happened there and who made the mistakes. They said that they have nothing. But because I'm originally from Holland, neighbor of Germany, I know that in Germany, everything is documented, every little detail. So we didn't accept it. And finally, after 20 some years, they finally give us a few of the documents. And then it came out all the terrible mistakes they made. But they have never said that, never give us an apology. And they did pay us something, but not at all the amounts that that are published in the newspaper. Not at all. They either don't know their mathematics or they do this, in a very bad way, because what they now offered has nothing to do what should be offered, because this was an international terror attack. And according to international law, we should be compensated according to international standards, like Lockerbie, like the Bell Discotheque in Berlin, and they are giving us some sort of, I'm not a beggar. And I said, you are not going to make a beggar out of me.
Right. Anyone who's seen that documentary, 5 Days in September, know how what a scandal it was, the way Germany handled that situation. Are you receiving any backing, support from the Israeli government in these circumstances, in this situation with Germany?
Yes, the Israeli government, the highest levels, they are backing us, and they're trying to help us and tell the German authorities that they are not going to compensate us according to German local law, because this was an international event. We hope that with their help, with the help of our lawyers and the help of all the family members, because they're all united in this, we hope that they're going to solve it. Otherwise, we are not going to the memorial ceremonies, because there's nothing for me to go there to say thank you for what? For 50 years of abuse, and they continue doing this. You know, I asked the president of Germany, you know, if it is more profitable to be a terrorist in Germany than a victim of terror, because Germany paid $9 million to the fake hijackers, George Habash, you know, in order to release the 3 surviving Palestinian terrorists. And they made a deal with the Arab organizations, the terror organizations, that they will not make another terror attack in Germany. $9 million they paid in 72. And they're now throwing something to us which is in no proportion. And therefore, we are not going to accept the thing that they propose to us. Not at all.
Right.